about who are you? No, really, who are you? Who am I? I'm here, you're there. Who are you? Ah, so people have asked this question for centuries, right? And there have been studies that show that there are different personalities, and there over the years have been so many different theories. But right now, I want to focus on one theory. It's called the trait theory of personality. That's the more recent one, and it's really cool. And what they say is that we are basically made up of basic traits. Okay? So we all have basic traits. It's the intensity and the strength of those traits that actually makes us unique and gives us our personality. So we each have traits, but remember, the traits have a different strength among us and a different intensity, and that makes us all different. But we all start with basic traits, and those basic traits are really common among all of us. But the question is, to what degree do you have those traits? On the spectrum, I love spectrums. So where do you fall on that spectrum? Over here on this extreme, or over here on the lower end? And that's what traits are about. And that defines our personality. A trait, what's a trait? A trait is a personal characteristic that actually has three criteria. It has to have three criteria. One, it's got to be consistent. It's there most of the time. It's got to be stable. It's there when you need it. So it comes to play. And again, it varies from person to person. So it makes it unique. Remember, based on that strength and that intensity, it's going to be unique. So my trait is going to vary on my strength and intensity. And your trait is going to vary on the strength and the intensity. And it's going to be unique to you and unique to me, which means there ain't no other me and there ain't no other you. So you are unique based on your personality traits and based on how you behave with those traits, right? So there's no other you, there's no other me. The question is, who are you? Who am I? And that's the answer. We are combining our traits, interacting with our traits, growing, developing our traits, becoming a person, a personality, and that is who we turn out to be. So your traits, your personality comes from a combination of traits, basic traits that are intense, strong, or mild, and then we get these different categories. Remember the five personality traits we talked about yesterday? So the five personality traits we talked about, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this because I want you to understand that this is who you are and that is how you bring out your behavior in the bedroom. So based on your personality traits, we can find out what you're going to do in the bedroom. Now, there's not always a guarantee with this, right? So I'm not guaranteeing you that with the personality trait of this, that you're going to get a behavior from it, because it can vary from day to day or from certain environmental factors or situations. So you just have to remember that basically, on the average, you are made up of traits that have been there. They say genetically, yes, environmentally, yes. So all of that plays a role, but they're stable and they develop throughout your life and they turn out to be you. But I need you to understand it's the intensity, the strength of, for example, if I say, Dr. Kathy is nice, very, very nice. There is an extreme, right, to mean. So depending on that spectrum where you fall, you are still having a basic trait of niceness, but going on that spectrum, trying to find out where you are, because again, that's you. You don't have to be as nice as me. You can actually be in between. And that is where your personality trait will come out and be described as, oh, she's okay, she's cool, right? Or she's aggressive, or he is very kind, right? So all of those are traits, but that kindness can be modified based again on the strength and the intensity and how you use it, how you are actually portraying it to the world, and how you're actually showing it to the world is going to make you unique, you one you. So understand that I want you to know who you are so that you can actually communicate who you are to your partner, right? That's the main game here. We want to be able to know who we are so we can tell our partner who we are. And we want to know who our partner is so we can decide who we're going to be with and who we're not going to be with in terms of if there's a personality clash. But remember, personalities can complement, personalities can clash, but you have to decide and know sometimes it's good to have a personality that is not the same as yours. Otherwise, it would be boring, right? If we all had the same personalities and we dated people with the same personality, that would be boring. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that little tidbit. Understand you're unique, you are you, and guess what? Yes, you can modify it to some extent depending on what you want to do in your life, but I want you to understand who you are basically so that you know how you are in the bedroom and can modify who you are in the bedroom too. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about that later on in the week. I want to talk to you about the questionnaire that I have, which is a personality test based on the Factor 5 module, right? That's the 5 traits we talked about yesterday. And I actually want you to go to the uh, website. I'll tell you the website at the end of the questionnaire. And I want you to go and do it and get your own score to find out what you are. The website is really amazing. I get a lot of information from them. I'll tell you that at the end. But I wanted to go through some of these questions with you because I want you to understand the importance of knowing who you are in general and who you are in the bedroom. All right. Number 1. How do you react to change? A, I embrace it. New experiences are exciting. B, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't like change. C, I can change for the greater good. D, I need to plan for change to change. E, if I get to meet new people, I'll change. So that number 1 is asking you, how do you react to change? And it wants to know what sort of person you are or what sort of trait you have that will make you react. So please choose A, B, C, D. How do you react to change? And you'll know at the end of the 20 questions of the 20 question survey how you will turn out in terms of your trait. Number 2, how do you feel about planning things ahead? Planning stresses me. Surprise stresses me even more. That's A. B, I need to be organized and structured, so I plan. C, I prefer to be spontaneous. So you see, how do you feel about planning? It's asking you how you plan, and it's going to give you the sort of person you are. Number 3, do you enjoy socializing? A, I like to empathize while socializing. B, it's draining to socialize. C, I'm energized when I'm around others. All right. So in number 3, they're trying to figure out what sort of social skills you have or who you are socially. Number 4, if you see someone in trouble, would you A, lend a hand and make a new friend? B, I'd do everything I could to help. C, I'd leave because I don't want to make any trouble or get into any trouble. D, it would be hard to start what I'm doing because you're busy. So again, if you see someone in trouble, what would you do? That is going to determine your trait and that degree. Now, again, these questions are doing a great job of trying to give you the personality traits, but remember, it's not etched in stone. This is just a tool that helps guide us. And again, we can modify and not come out exactly what they predict, but close enough, which is fair. Number 5, how often do you experience intense emotional changes? A, I have emotional highs and lows all the time. B, my mood is generally stable. So when you think about a mood being generally stable. You always want to know, are you more stable or do you have the highs and lows? And again, they only give you 2 options here. That's because they want you to choose the best answer, and that's what you're going to do. Choose the best answer. Don't get too focused and don't overanalyze. Just get to the one that's closest to you and go for it. Number 6, how would you respond if a friend wants you to try something new? How would you respond? A,